Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are discussing elbow joint, and the elbow joint is formed by articulation of the distal end of the humerus or lower end of the humerus with the proximal ends of ulna and radius. Here we can see the trochlea of the humerus articulates with the trochlear notch of the ulna, and there is a head of radius articulating with the capitulum of the humerus. So the articulating areas are capitulum and trochlea of the humerus and trochlear notch of ulna and head of radius. These are the articulating surfaces of the elbow joint. The elbow joint is a synovial variety of joint and it is a hinge joint. What is a hinge? Hinge is this structure present in the door which helps in the opening and closing of the door. So there are two movements in the door, same as in the elbow joint. Therefore, it is known as a hinge variety of joint. And it is lined by a connective tissue capsule. Clear up till now? All right, what are the ligaments present around the elbow joint? There is a lateral collateral ligament, and you know that radius is the bone which lies laterally in the forearm. So the this lateral collateral ligament is also known as a radial ligament, and it is also mentioned as radial ligament in some books. And medial collateral ligament is also referred as ulnar collateral ligament. And as the name indicates, the lateral collateral ligament attaches to the lateral condyle of the humerus above and to the annular ligament which is attaching the superior radioulnar joint below. And medial collateral ligament is attached to the medial condyle of the humerus above and ulna below. This ligament is closely related to ulnar nerve. This is important to know because if there is dislocation of the elbow joint, then the ulnar nerve can be damaged. So the synovial membrane lines the capsule and is continuous below with the synovial membrane of the proximal radioulnar joint, as you can see here. So the nerves which supply the elbow joint are median nerve. Here you can see the median nerve, the ulnar nerve. Here you can see that the ulnar nerve is at the medial aspect and it is closely related to the medial collateral ligament. And the other nerve is the radial nerve. Okay, give me the answer to the question I am asking. Radial nerve is continuation of which cord of the brachial plexus? I have already taught you radial nerve, so answer this question. Radial nerve is the continuation of which cord of the brachial plexus? Yes, I'm looking forward to your comments. Okay, good. I have received answers from Javeria, Khunsha, Muntaha, Samana, and Mariam, and all of them are right regarding the posterior chord of brachial plexus. Good. So, what are the movements? I have told you that elbow joint is a hinge type of joint. So, basically, the movements are flexion and extension. And this is flexion when the arm is going to move to when the forearm is going to move towards the arm. All right, and here you can see the angle will be decreased between the bones, and when there will be extension, the forearm is going to move away from the arm, and the angle is going to increase, and this will be extension. Fine. So there are two movements, flexion and extension of the elbow joint. Flexion is performed by biceps brachii, brachialis, brachioradialis, and pronator teres muscles. So, four muscles are involved in the flexion of the elbow joint: biceps brachii, brachialis, okay, biceps brachii, brachialis, brachioradialis, and pronator teres muscles. Okay, now give me the answer to the question. That brachioradialis belongs to which compartment of forearm? We have studied yesterday forearm, so give me the answer to the question that brachioradialis, which is this muscle here, is a muscle of which compartment of forearm? Yes, I am looking forward to your comments. Okay, good. Adil is active today, and I have received answer from Haris, Mariam, Hunsha, Khushbakht, and Umair. All of them are right that it is a muscle of the lateral compartment of forearm. Brachioradialis is a muscle of the lateral compartment of forearm. Okay, I am asking the next question. What about biceps and brachialis? What? Okay, just tell me about biceps. This muscle belongs to the arm. Okay, I have taught you arm as well. And which facial compartment of arm does brachialis belong? Does this biceps brachii belongs to? Okay, I have asked the next question. Biceps brachii muscle belongs to which compartment of arm? Okay, that's great. That's great. I'm happy that you are actively participating, and all of you have given the right answer regarding the anterior compartment of arm. So biceps brachii as well as brachialis muscle belong to the anterior compartment of arm. All right. So flexion is performed by all these muscles I have told you, and extension is performed by triceps and anconeus. So the next question would be triceps belongs to which compartment of the arm? Okay, the next question is triceps belongs to which compartment of the arm? Okay, the first answer is from Sadeem, and the answer is right. That's wonderful. Triceps belongs to the posterior compartment of arm. All right, let's move forward. Okay, this is something which is known as carrying angle. When the upper limb, or you can say the elbow joint, is extended, there is an angle between the arm and forearm. You can see here this angle. In the extended form of the elbow joint, there is an angle between the arm, long axis of the arm, and long axis of the forearm. This angle is 170 in males, 170 in males, and a little lesser, 167 degrees in females. All right, in your course book, which is Anatomy by Snells, this is given that this is the angle. But in certain other reference books, this is referred to as carrying angle. Okay, all right. In certain reference books, this angle where I am pointing out is referred to as carrying angle. So don't worry, follow your book by Snell, and there is no objection in following the reference books as well. But for the exams, you have to follow your Snell's. So you should remember that it is 170 degrees in males and 167 degrees in females, but when the elbow joint is flexed, this angle disappears. All right, this carrying angle disappears when the elbow joint is flexed. This carrying angle is only present when the elbow joint is extended. So there are relations obviously anteriorly, posteriorly, medially, laterally, but the important relationships which you should remember for the clinical conditions as well is that anterior